under that we discuss how these definitions of quality management have changed over the period of time, and like few definitions we discussed, like fitness for use, conformance to standards, freedom from deficiencies, and then we saw it as a ratio of performance to expectations. And then now the modern definition that we discussed was that it is basically related to the variation in the product or the processes, and the goal should be to reduce. So quality improvement for quality, we can say, is inversely proportional to the variability. Where there is more variability, chances are that the quality will be lesser. So these definitions we discussed in the last class. Now moving forward, there are certain dimensions of quality through which we can say that we judge the quality or we measure the quality. So few obvious dimensions of quality that will be there are like how well the product is performing, how many features are there, whether the right features that were desired are there or not. So there are broadly 8 dimensions of quality that are there through which we can measure or judge the quality. One is the performance of product or the service that is there, how well it is performing, whether it is performing as per our requirement or not. Reliability and durability, how reliable it is and how durable it is. Serviceability, whether the product that we have produced or sold to the customer, whether it is serviceable or not, whether we are able to provide services after sales or not. Another important dimension for not for all maybe, but for many, is the aesthetics, how the product is looking. So aesthetics is also one of the important dimensions for many people. Then features are there, how many features are there, whether the desired features are there or not. Perceived quality is not, means how well we are perceiving about product. That can come from maybe some feedback from our friends, our peers, that I have bought this product, I am using this product and it is actually performing well. So now I also have perceived that since my friends are also using that product and the product is performing satisfactorily, so I have developed a notion that the quality will be good. So that is also one dimension. And another is the conformance to standards. Whatever standards are there that we have said, that the product should be meeting those standards. So these can be certain dimensions of quality. Apart from that, we can say that there are certain things that are critical to quality. So we call them CTQs, critical to quality characteristics. So CTQs can be of several types, and when we are talking about now quality improvement, that we'll see in the later stages also, that when we are talking about Six Sigma project that we have been taking. So there the basic thing is that first we identify what are the CTQs for our case. Whatever project we have taken up for implementing improvement in maybe a Six Sigma project or rather any quality improvement projects. So this identifying the critical to quality components or CTQs is important, and they can be of several types as mentioned here, based on the type of product, type of the service we are providing. It can be classified in terms of the physical characteristics of the quality, like length, weight, and any other physical dimension that is there. So we might be concerned that now we are producing certain product, but we are not able to control the length of the product or the weight of the product as per the requirements or the specifications. So that becomes our CTQ for taking up a quality improvement project or a Six Sigma project. So identification of the right CTQs is important here. Then there can be other classification of CTQs like mentioned, here sensory, that we can only sense like taste, appearance, color. We are going to restaurant, so there we are judging the food by tasting it. So that can also be our CTQ for that particular product. Then time related, so how long the product is going to work when we have put that product in use, and how reliably it is going to work without failure. So that can be also our CTQs. And apart from that, the functional CTQs can be there. That is when we are talking about functional CTQs, means it is conforming to standards and producing or it is means whatever features that we have desired, that or whatever functions we have desired, it is performing according to that. Apart from that, these are specifically ethical CTQs. These are specifically, you can say, for the service sector. So how friendly the person who is providing service to us will board airplane, we get greeted while entering the plane. So that is their courtesy or friendliness they are showing. So that might also be an important CTQ for us if we want to take up any improvement project. So these things we need to identify carefully when we are talking about the any quality improvement or any improvement project there. We need to have understanding of what are the important dimensions, how we are going to measure quality, and now in that, what are the critical things that are impacting our product or the quality of our product or services. Now there are certain essential components also related to the quality. So before that, before discussing the essential components, there are two things that or two terms that we use. One is product satisfaction and one is dissatisfaction. So whether this product satisfaction and dissatisfaction are same or they are opposite. So what do you think about this product satisfaction and dissatisfaction? Anyone? When if I am using a product, I'm saying I'm satisfied with this product. Does that mean that I will not be dissatisfied with this product? Yes, anyone, please. So when we talk about this product satisfaction and dissatisfaction, so we can look from these from two different perspectives. When we are saying that we are talking about product satisfaction, so product satisfaction comes from the number of features that are there in the product. So more of the features are there, or the all the essential features that were desired, if they are there, that means we will be more satisfied, because whatever features we have desired, that are there in our product. So when we talk about this product satisfaction, we can say it is related to the product features. Now when we talk about the dissatisfaction, product dissatisfaction, so means dissatisfaction generally comes from our defects, if that are there. If the product is not able to work as per our requirements, or we have bought a product for a certain use, considering that it has these features and functions, but it is not performing according to that. So these two can be considered unrelated terms also, because their origin are different. More satisfaction by product use will be coming through the features and the functions that are there, but satisfaction will be coming only when there are deficiencies in the product. So there can be products that give no dissatisfaction, means we are not dissatisfied with the product. We are, and when we are saying that we are not dissatisfied with the product, means there are no deficiencies in the product. There are features we were desiring. Those features are present in the product, but still, it does not guarantee that we will be satisfied and we buy that product, because now it depends upon certain other things also. So we have a product available in the market. It has all the features that we were desiring. It has no deficiencies, no defects, but still we are not buying that product, because there can be another product offered by another competing company who has more features, more functionalities in the same price. So even if now we are not dissatisfied with the product, we are not fully satisfied also with the product. It means we are not going to buy that product, because now it is depending on certain external things also, that competitor or competing company is providing better features, more functionalities, and the product is not selling. We have to be, when we are talking about designing the products or designing the features into the product, we have to make sure not only about what we are features we are providing in the product, we have to see, or we have to benchmark the product with our customers also, competitors also, so that we see that what features now they are providing in the product. So that will lead to product being sold there. So it is not only about going ahead with restricting the deficiencies, but also while restricting the deficiencies, we have to make sure that we now provide better and better features and functionalities in the product. Now, this is this figure mentions the spiral of progress in quality. So now we know that organization, when it has entered into the market, it will be eventually aiming at growing in the market or gaining a competitive advantage in the market. And as the organization grows in the market, the number of tasks they are performing or the complexity of the tasks they are performing are also is also increasing. And with that, the number of functional areas or departments that are involved will also increase. And now, when we are talking context of quality management, with more and more functional areas increasing, more this activities increasing, so managing quality also becomes difficult there. And there are quality gurus that have given the definitions, or when we be discussing the total quality management. So basic concept of total quality management is that quality is not a responsibility of one person. Because the earlier concept, they used to say that the quality is the responsibility of the person who is producing. So let's say this, they are saying that quality is the responsibility of the worker or the manager who is there in the manufacturing shop, or the quality inspector who is there. But the modern concept says that the quality is responsibility of each and every person or the functional units involved in the organization. And the functions, they might follow an unvarying sequence of events that we call the spiral. And in addition to this, we see this main activities of the main functions, like the marketing is there, product development, product design is there. There can be certain supporting activities also, like mentioned here. For marketing and customer service, there we require certain other supportive activities also. We require transactions, or we require interaction with other supporting units also. That might be external to the organization also. So there needs to be a number of tasks that need to be performed in order to achieve the goal of quality management that we have set, or in order to achieve the fitness of use goal that we have set. And these tasks, as I'm saying, they can be performed, they have to be performed from various departments, and that might be directly related or there might be supporting department. So all these activities that these departments are doing in a certain sequence or maybe in an unsequenced way, so they form what we call as a quality function. So we consider all these activities as a quality function, and then we say that now it is the responsibility of each and every individual or each and every person who is there in that functional department to ensure that fitness of use is achieved. So total quality function can be term given here to this spiral of activities that are being done in order to sell the product into the market or produce the market as per produce the product as per the specification of the customers. And as mentioned here, there are multiple activities that are going on, like starting from the market research, that what the customer actually want, then designing and development of the product, then manufacturing, then and towards the end providing customer service and taking their feedback for further improvement. So this continuous spiral is going on, or spiral of activities is going on, and this can be termed as total quality function, so that we can achieve the fitness of use here. So quality measures in different area of society or different our products can be different, like the dimensions of or CTQs that we have discussed. So we can take n number of examples, and what can be their probable measures, like mentioned here, automotive defect-free product. We are talking about communication sector, so clearer, faster communication, cheaper service without call drops and all. Healthcare sectors, the fast diagnosis and the correct diagnosis of the disease and low cost treatment of the disease. Similarly, there can be many different quality measures or different quality measures for different areas that are there, and we need to clearly identify for our product or for our project that we are taking what are the CTQs, what are the quality measures that are there, and accordingly we can now plan to move ahead with the improvement of quality of the product. Now, this was the basic about what is quality management, what are the important dimensions of quality management. So before discussing what are the various important elements of the quality management, we need to understand how the quality concepts evolved over the period of time, or the brief history about the this quality management. So when we are saying that quality, we are concerned with improving the quality, or we are concerned with providing better quality products to the consumer, or we are concerned with meeting their expectations. So most of the time we think that, or it comes into our mind that now with modern development of technologies and all, and customer now being more aware, and we are using developed technologies for sophisticated processes. So these concepts have become more important in modern world. But in earlier eras also, these concepts used to exist, although not like today, but people were still working on producing quality goods from that time. But there were no sort of quality checks. They were still producing, means not very stringent quality checks and all, not a mechanism for customer feedback and all, but still people were working towards producing better quality products. And if we go to the ancient times, we see many things that are still existing. Old buildings like that are there, pyramids, Egyptian pyramids that are still existing, that were built hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So still the quality we can see of those things are also very good. We see the buildings constructed or other monuments and all constructed during the Mughal era or during the British era. So that also they exhibit the quality that were used, means that the quality parameters they were following that time, because those things, most of the things, unless they were destroyed by the invaders, they are existing, and that too, the quality is not that bad. We take example of our institute also. We have our institute almost 100 years old. We have the building that were constructed almost 100 years old, and still the building is intact. Similarly, we have examples of other many important bridges that are there, Howrah Bridge that is there. So that sort of things are existing, and they with some maintenance, they are still working fine. So quality was not that much, means stringently controlled, but still people had in their mind the concept that we need to build products, or we need to produce products with good quality that should last longer, and that should meet the requirements for which the product is being produced or built. So that was ancient times, or the products that were produced during that time we can see still that are there. Now after that, or means during this initial 1900, so there was no means large scale machinery available, and before we can say the first industrial revolution happened, people used to produce goods at their home or in very small settings, that too with their hands and all. So that era in the quality control, if we talk about, was called operator quality control period, where as mentioned, the products were produced either individually by a person at home, or in a small group, or like a family is producing certain products and they are selling or bartering the products with other things. So that was operator quality control. And people who used to do that production, mostly they do not have many tools. Very small tools or little tools were available with them, and they used to do everything with hand. And that time they were called as artisans. Now, with certain advancements, now when people started moving from their home setting to maybe a small workshop, so that is considered as the second phase in the evolution of quality, and that is called as foreman quality control period. So now the foremen were there, or there was a person who is leading a group of 5-10 people, and they were he was responsible for the quality. He has more knowledge about the various tools and all, and he was responsible for the quality. After that, now industrial revolutions also happened. People started working in factories, started using machines, steam engines and all for producing goods, and assembly line concepts were also being introduced. And that time now, since production started picking up, the number of products that were produced started picking up, that era we can say that where the concept of inspection quality control was there. Now since the products were produced in a bit larger scale than the previous ones, with the use of machinery and with the industrial revolutions, so now it was essential that we do certain inspections also before sending out the products to the customer. So that era was called as inspection quality control period. So first it started with operator quality, then foreman quality control, and then moved to the inspection quality control period. During that era only, during 1920s and 1940s, when we were talking about the inspection quality control. Now, with inspection quality control, people were supposed to do 100% inspection. Sometimes with the defects coming, so there were dedicated people who were doing 100% inspection of the products. So, and there were no sort of benchmarks or how we are going to control our certain parameters that are critical to quality. So during that era only, Mr. Sheward, who was working with Bell Telephone Laboratories, he gave the concept of use of statistics in managing the quality. So that time, the concepts of control charts or statistical quality control that came into picture. So he introduced that the concept of statistics in quality management and introduced control charts. So he said that it's not necessary that we have to do 100% inspection. We can use statistical methods also. We can do sampling and then do sampling inspection. So with them all, with Sheward was working other scientists or other people there in Bell Telephone Laboratories. Primarily, two people were important in bringing the acceptance sampling plan, that was Dodge and Roman. So they also parallelly introduced with the use of statistical control charts, statistical techniques. They said that now we have to do away with the 100% inspection. So they introduce actually the concepts of acceptance sampling, where we take a sample out of the whole lot and then decide the fate of the lot based on that sample. So this phase, with the introduction of statistics, acceptance sampling, so and this phase in the coming years or coming 2 or 3 decades was called as statistical quality control phase in there. Now, Dodge and Roman, they gave their sampling plans initially in 1920s, around 1930s. After that, World War II happened, and US military, they also came up with their sampling plans, sampling inspection plans for the products they are producing for use in the war. And many things in operations like the project management techniques are also they were developed during that time also. So they also parallelly developed their military standards sampling plan for sampling inspection that time. And during that time, during 1950s, as we discussed in the earlier class also, there are certain quality gurus that are important people in the development of quality management techniques. Two such prominent persons are Deming and Juran, and they now started telling people the importance of quality management. They emphasized the use of these techniques, quality management techniques. And earlier, when since they were from United States only, so they were telling the importance of these techniques to the organizations there, but the organizations were not listening to their suggestions. And eventually, the Japanese organization, they called them and told them to teach us those concepts so that we will implement. And once this Japanese started implementing these concepts taught by them in their organization, they parallelly developed their other concepts also, like lean management and all. So after that, the other US organizations, they realized the importance of quality management, and then they also started adopting those techniques. Now, after statistical quality control and parallelly these things happening, till till that statistical quality control period, it was now generally considered, as we discussed earlier also, that quality was considered as the responsibility of only person who is producing or person who is inspecting the product. But eventually this concept changed, and it was now realized that other departments that are there, maybe it is a design department, maybe it is our procurement department or the supply chain department that is managing the materials or vendors, they are also important. So that era was called as the total quality control phase, where it was realized that other departments and their people are also important. And then came the concept of lean management, zero defects, quality circles, also during that period only, where focus was not only means detection of the defects, but prevention of the defects, that we now need to prevent the defects from happening, and the goal is zero defects. And the quality circle concept also came up. The quality circle basically is a concept originated again in Japanese organizations mainly, that quality circle meant that a group of people, let's say 5 to 10, not necessarily from the same department, generally from other departments, from various departments, and at various levels in the organizations. They will meet once a week or once a fortnight and then discuss what are the quality related issues we are facing and what can be the probable causes of that and what can be the probable possible solutions for that. So that sort of concepts originated, and now these concepts are still being followed by organizations, especially the manufacturing organizations. They still have this quality circles or these quality teams who meet and ponder upon what can be the possible causes and solutions for defects they are facing. And now after that, the total quality control phase, where the involvement of several departments was desired. Now another concept or another term originated, that is total quality control organization wise phase, or total quality system, or total quality management system, where they are saying that not only the various departments are responsible, but each and every person from worker to the CEO of the organization is responsible for the quality of the product that we are producing. So, and for that, the contribution of these quality gurus was also important, because they said that some people argued that the quality is controlled at the bottom end of the organization, where we are talking about the workers who are producing the products, who are handling the products, and there may be their supervisors who are and the quality control inspectors. But few quality gurus argued that it is not at the problem is not at the bottom level only, it starts from the top level. The quality of the product is influenced by the decisions that are taken by the top management, maybe CEO or the other top management people. So whatever they decide, what decisions they take, that will eventually impact the quality of the product and working of the supervisors or the workers that are handling the product. So they emphasize that both are important. So it is a total quality system where person working on the front line and person who is making decisions, all are equally important for managing the quality. So this is how the concepts of quality evolved over the period of time. We can say that there are many certain other significant events in between, but broadly we can categorize the evolution of quality into these certain phases or areas. And as I was saying that there are different quality gurus, and they have different views, certain different views and certain common views also regarding the quality management, or what is quality from their perspective and what should be done. So three different or three important quality gurus and their different views are mentioned here. Phillips P. Crosby, Deming, and Mr. Juran. And accordingly, they gave different definitions of quality. Crosby said quality is conformance to requirements, and Deming said it is the degree of uniformity and dependability at low cost suited to the market. And Juran said it is fitness for use or customer. It is related to the customer satisfaction. Now, related to the involvement of the top management, there Crosby said that top management is responsible for quality. Deming categorically said that they are responsible for more than 90% of the quality problems. So whatever decisions they are taking, more than 90% of the quality problems or things are impacted by that. And Juran was also of the same view. He said that only 20% of the problems are because of the frontline workers, rest are because of the decision made at the top management level. So they have their certain contradicting views also and certain common views also. Now, if we see the general approach here, Crosby said it should be prevention, not inspection. Deming said about the variability and continuous improvement, but he also said about that we should cease mass inspection. So Crosby is also of the view that we need to prevent the defects from happening and not focus on inspection. Same was the Deming, apart from his other views that we need to reduce variability. And Juran was of certain other opinion, means he was of the opinion that human elements are important in managing the quality and we should focus on that. But the basic thing that we'll see is that they are talking about now preventing the quality, because inspection is not possible, especially in the current world where we are seeing that now the production is going on a very large scale. We cannot, since we are producing, might be one organization might be producing thousands of products per day. So it is not possible to inspect, even if we are doing sampling inspection, it is not possible to detect all the defective products. Some defective products will pass on to the customer. So focus should be on this prevention rather than the detection. So that was the general approach or general view given by all the different quality gurus. Now, though, there are certain problems with this quality, means inspection-based quality control, where we are relying on our inspection, be it 100% inspection or our acceptance sampling based inspection. So there are certain problems with that. Now, to help that understand better, we'll do a small exercise here. So in the next slide, there is a one paragraph that is there, and you need to count the number of F's that are there. So I will ask a few of you to volunteer for that and count that number of F's that are there. So we'll take 30 seconds and you have to count the number of F that are there in the this paragraphs. Yes, anyone has counted? Amar is saying 28. Anyone else?
30, sir.
Okay. So most of you have said around 30, 31. So few of you have said it 36. So exactly there are 36 Fs here. So this is the means through this we can understand that the inspection based quality control has certain problems with it, because now it is depending upon the person who is doing the inspection there. We have the tools and equipment, we have modern equipments also for measuring, but it's not always that each and every parameter is measurable through that tools and equipment that we have. So we have to rely on the judgment of the person who is doing the inspection, and he might, because organization, it is not like we are doing or producing few products in a day. There are thousands of products being produced. Maybe he is getting a lot of products for the inspection, and that becomes a monotonous job, and that too in time constrained way. So we have constraints related to time also. So that is the major problem with inspection based quality control. Even if we are investing time there, we are investing our resources in terms of people who are doing inspection, there is no guarantee that we will be able to detect the defects. And when we will discuss the acceptance sampling, we'll see that we are accepting actually that certain percentage of defects will pass on to the customer, and that is there. We know that whatever we do, there will be defects, and that will not be detected and will be passed on to the customers. So that is the major disadvantage, that it is now relying on the person who is doing the inspection. Job is mostly monotonous there, and time is less. They have to fastly do their evaluation, and they might lose attention there. So it is depending on their skills and attention. There can be multiple errors. Instrument also might not work properly, might not be calibrated properly every time. So measurement capability also, and environmental or human factors there can be. After continuously working at a place, there might be certain disturbances also at that end. So that will lead to errors there. So that is why these quality gurus or people are saying that since we cannot control these things, since we cannot means even after doing this inspection, we cannot control 100% of defects. So it is better that we focus on defect prevention there. Although means we are doing inspection, also we are doing acceptance sampling, still organizations are doing that, but side by side they are also trying to prevent the defects from happening, and that can be done when we are conforming to the standards, when we are dealing with certain things properly during the design phase, during the manufacturing phase. So that will ensure that we have freedom, we have products that are free from defects. So that brings us to the various elements of the quality that we need to understand. So when we are talking about the elements of quality, we are relating it to that advice or given by the quality gurus, that quality should be built into the product during the our design or manufacturing of the product, rather than worrying about, or rather than relying on the inspection for detecting the defects. So inspection will not lead to improvement of the quality. Inspection will lead only to the detection of the defects, that too not 100%. So we need to focus on building the product by ensuring that during its design and manufacturing phase, the quality is well incorporated there. So that brings to the discussion of various elements of quality. As we were discussing in the first class also, apart from that, there are certain other. So one is the quality of design, other is quality of conformance, then quality of performance, And these three are the important elements of the quality when we are trying to ensure that the product is of optimum quality. Apart from that, other elements that impact the ultimately quality are availability related to the machines that are there, and after that, once the product is sold, the customer service. That also impact the quality because it impacts the many times it impacts the perceived quality also. It impacts the further buying of other customers that might be attracted to the company. So these are the certain elements. We will discuss about this various elements of quality in detail in next class. So till this, if you have anything, we can discuss. Otherwise, we'll stop here.
Sir, coming to quality characteristics, if we lab test the product and under what factor it will come?
If we test the product in lab.
Yes, sir. It will be functional or what it will be? It will be not physical, but what it will be?
No, test means testing is different. Testing is sort of like means we are doing certain inspection, but element means that characteristics of that they are telling about which thing we need to test. Like if testing can be many types. We are doing the stress testing of the product, but we need to know that the stress testing is important. That we need for our product the amount of stress it can handle, amount of pressure it can handle is important. So that are the things. Characteristics that are there that we need to understand before that. Testing is sort of means inspection thing we are doing.
Okay, sir.
Anything else? Okay, if you do not have anything, we'll stop here today and we'll meet tomorrow at 3 p.m. for class. Okay then, bye.